Manny Pacquiao running for president. Can he win?
Not? What? You're going to think like next thing you're going to tell me like a reality star could be president of the United States or something? It's crazy.
He's running for president 2022. I'm a fighter, and I will always be a fighter inside and outside the ring. We need government to serve our people with integrity, compassion, and transparency. The current president, Rodrigo Duterte,
right? Yeah.
has led a brutal campaign against illegal drugs and said last week he would rather die first before facing an international tribunal. The day after the International Criminal Court announced it would investigate allegations of crimes against humanity linked to the crackdown that has left thousands dead. Can you imagine? Pacquiao becomes a president.
I mean, he's got to be the most popular guy there, right?
He's been a politician. He's been a congressman there for a long time.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
He's not. I don't think he's going to be the only fighter that's president of a country. Apparently, I believe it's Vladimir Klitschko. One of the Klitschko brothers is being positioned for a run at the Ukraine as well. So, hey, look, man. I don't know enough about Filipino politics to comment on it, but he's a beloved.
I was waiting to get your level of expertise in their politics.
I'm sorry. I used to know Tagalog, but yeah. But I would say this though, like one of the things about the future, right, is it goes all the way back to what you said before, brand first, right? Like brand first. Manny Pacquiao's brand is incredibly strong. He's known as a person of integrity. He's known as somebody that it cares about the community. And Pat, you talk about a synergist, right? Like he's not a catalyst. He's not somebody that's going to turn one side against the other, as far as I know. So, maybe this is the future. We're laughing about it now, but maybe the future is popular people who care about their own brand, so they're not going to do something crazy and out of character, that can bring the two powerful sides together. Maybe instead of fighting this and looking at, Pat talking about how Jake Paul is going to be president and AOC is going to be president. Logan, I'm sorry. We've got to embrace the reality of the situation, being that, hey, look, man, this is the quote-unquote new normal, and maybe there's a good thing that can come out of this. Maybe there's synergy to be had by people that are universally liked being in positions of power.
I think, it's been proven since Reagan, right? I mean, you got a guy like Reagan who goes from being a SAG president to being the spokesperson for GE, and they were paying him $750 to $1 million a year to go around talking about how great GE is, to him doing Hollywood, and then becomes a governor, and then becomes president.
Likability, well, I don't know, man, because likability isn't really a useful trait in a leader, right? Like you have to be disagreeable.
I think it's a useful trait to be likable. I mean, George Bush Jr., everybody said wants to have a beer. Who do you want to have a beer with? George Bush,
Yeah, I can see why people vote for likable people, but I just don't know if
being a good leader,
being in a position of leadership. You guys both run companies. You can't be
buddy
with everybody.
Trust you, want to be in business with you, right? People gotta like you.
Yeah, people
because
want to follow you.
Think about it this way: what's more important, like or trust? Which comes first, like or trust?
I gotta like you to trust.
There you go. Yeah. So before you could be the most trusting human being in the world, but no one likes you because your first impression sucks. I'm sorry, we're never going to find that the juice you offer, which is trust.
Totally.
Yeah, so likability is extremely important business.
This is one of my problems with Robert Greene. Really, really smart guy, and I love his work, but like 48 Rules of Power, there should have been a caveat at the beginning that's like, unless you know how to be charismatic, this is just 48 ways to be a jerk. Like, unless you can be charismatic.
Did you like the book or no? Why didn't you like the book?
Because it's too
dark.
It's like how to achieve in a very negative way, right? You don't have to follow those rules. You don't have to do it that way. It's kind of like a manipulative guide to manipulation and winning through power. And I just didn't like it. I mean, I read it, and I thought some of it was true for sure. But I don't think that I certainly won't give my son Asher that book and be like, read this. This is the rules to life, like Jordan. Read this as the rules to power. I wouldn't, because I wouldn't want him to live his life that way.
You know what his reason was to write the book? He said he wrote it for you to know how those people run to go against them. Not necessarily for you to be like that, but
it was kind of a guide, though.
I agree with you.
He wrote it as a guide,
he said
for sure.
that, but I agree with you. Have you read his other books? He wrote a book, Art of Seduction. I don't know if you've read it. No. It's a ridiculous book. It's an incredible book, Art of Seduction. Then you got 33 Strategies of War. It's my favorite out of all of them. 33 Strategies of War. Law number 4 is insane.
You got a big shout out from Andy Young about the power what was it? Paranoid?
Only the Paranoid Survive.
He said it was
Andy Grove.
Yeah, he said it was the best book he ever read.
It's a ridiculous book. Yeah. Andy Grove is a legend. So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, Click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.